Have you ever wondered what happens when the stage lights go off, the cameras stop rolling, and you are standing just inches away from the biggest superstars on the planet? There is one invisible signature that defines a person's presence more than their outfit or their voice, their scent. Welcome to a special investigative edition where we unlock the olfactory secrets of BTS. Scent is not just a smell, it is a psychological weapon, a silent communicator of status, mood, and raw masculinity that bypasses logic and hits you straight in the emotions. Today, we are compiling data from years of fan accounts, subtle hints dropped in interviews, luxury perfume endorsements, and the legendary hush testimonies of female staff members, stylists, makeup artists, and backstage crew who have had the rare privilege of working within the intimate personal space of these 7 legends. We are not just guessing, we are analyzing the chemistry of their favorite fragrance notes combined with their natural aura. Who smells like a comforting field of soft cotton flowers on a Sunday morning? Who carries the sharp, expensive freshness of the ocean? And the question that everyone is dying to know. Who dominates the room with a heavy, woody, spicy aroma that is undeniably the most masculine of them all? The answers might completely contradict their on-screen images. Is the cutest member actually the most intense smelling? Is the quietest one the most fragrant? Get ready to stimulate your senses and dive into a world where imagination meets reality. This is the definitive ranking of BTS's most masculine scents. Take a deep breath, hold it in, because the truth about their aroma is about to be revealed.
Number 7. J-Hope, the scent of eternal sunshine. A citrus explosion that defies the laws of sweat. We begin our aromatic countdown at number 7. A position that serves as a fascinating paradox in the world of male fragrances, represented by none other than the group's dance leader and mood maker, J-Hope. Placing Jungkook Seok at number 7 inches a ranking of masculine scents does not imply a lack of manliness, but rather highlights a completely different philosophy of olfactory presence. If traditional masculinity in perfume is defined by heavy, dark notes of leather, tobacco, oud, and musk that dominate a room with aggression, J-Hope's scent profile is the antithesis of that. It is the sophisticated, high-end definition of clean. According to numerous whispers from the styling teams and makeup artists who have worked in the high-pressure, high-heat environments of backstage dressing rooms, J-Hope possesses a supernatural ability to maintain a scent of crisp freshness, even when his body is pushed to the absolute physical limit. While other idols might resort to heavy colognes to mask the scent of sweat after a grueling 3-hour concert, staff members have noted that hovering near J-Hope feels like standing next to a fresh breeze. His scent is often described as a sophisticated blend of citrus, mint, and expensive soap, a fragrance that signals order, precision, and high-maintenance hygiene. This aligns perfectly with what we know about his personality. He is the most organized member, the one who cleans up after others, and this trait manifests in his aura. Deep diving into the edutainment aspect of this, we must look at the specific notes he has been associated with over the years. Fans and eagle-eyed sleuths have spotted bottles like Terre d'Hermé on his vanity in the past, a masterpiece of perfumery that, while masculine, is not dark. It relies on notes of grapefruit, orange, flint, pepper, pink peppercorns, geranium leaves, patchouli, cedar, and vetiver. This is a earth and sky scent. It is complex, woody, and mineral, but the top notes are undeniably bright and zesty. Scientifically, citrus scents, like grapefruit and orange, are known to stimulate the production of serotonin in the brain of the smeller, creating an immediate sense of happiness and energy. This is literally the biological function of J-Hope. His scent chemically signals happiness to those around him. Furthermore, there have been famous anecdotes from fan meetings where fans were stunned by how soapy and sweet he smelled, with some even comparing it to a soft vanilla note mixed with fresh laundry. This creates a psychological safety net for female staff. Unlike a heavy musk that can feel predatory or intimidatingly intense, J-Hope's scent is inviting, professional, and comforting. It is the scent of a man who takes immense care of himself, a man who values grooming as a form of respect for others. In the context of masculinity, this is the modern, metrosexual interpretation, a man who doesn't need to smell like a lumberjack or a whiskey bar to assert his dominance. His dominance comes from his perfectionism, and his scent reflects that polished exterior. Imagine the scene. A chaotic backstage area, people running around, the smell of hairspray and adrenaline in the air. And then J-Hope walks by, leaving a trail of minty, woody freshness that cuts through the noise. It is a polite scent, one that doesn't scream for attention but rewards those who get close enough to experience it. For the staff women working long hours, J-Hope's scent is likely a breath of fresh air, literally and figuratively, making him the most approachable member on a sensory level. While he may not rank at number 1 for the dark bad boy musk that some associate with raw testosterone, his placement at number 7 honors the sophisticated, clean, and uplifting aura that makes him the golden young. His scent tells a story of discipline. Only a man with immense discipline can dance for 12 hours and still smell like he just stepped out of a luxury shower. Thus, J-Hope is the king of freshness, proving that sometimes the most attractive thing a man can smell like is pure, unblemished cleanliness. Number 6. Jimin. The ethereal seduction of a blooming garden, a scent so expensive it feels like a hallucination. Ascending the ladder of sensory dominance, we land at number 6, occupied by the member whose mere existence challenges the traditional boundaries of gender and allure, the captivating Park Jimin. Placing Jimin at this spot is a testament to a specific breed of masculinity that is not about brute force, but about an overwhelming, intoxicating elegance that disarms anyone who gets too close. If J-Hope is the scent of bright sunshine, Jimin is the scent of a moonlit garden in full bloom, mysterious, soft, yet dangerously addictive. For years, the legend of Jimin's scent has permeated the fandom and the industry alike, often described by those lucky enough to attend fan signs or work backstage as heavenly and unforgettable. Unlike the stereotypical male fragrances that rely on aggressive notes of burnt wood or heavy leather, to scream, "I am a man," Jimin's olfactory signature is widely reported to be floral, fresh, and slightly powdery, a combination that requires immense confidence to pull off. The specific fragrance, most often linked to him in the investigative files of army detectives, is Joe Malone's Orange Blossom. Now, let's break this down with an edutainment lens because this choice is psychologically fascinating. Orange Blossom is not just a flower. In the world of high-end perfumery, it is known as an aphrodisiac, a scent that is shimmering, crisp, and bitter, sweet. On a woman, it smells lovely. On a man like Jimin, it transforms into something incredibly chic and sophisticated. Staff members, particularly the female stylists who have to adjust his accessories or fix his hair during the sweaty chaos of a concert, have reportedly been caught off guard by how good he smells even when exhausted. While other men might smell of salt and fatigue, reports suggest Jimin's natural body chemistry turns sweat into a sort of sweet, musky warmth that amplifies his perfume rather than ruining it. This is the Jimin effect, a pheromonal trap. His scent matches his visual duality perfectly. The mochi face that makes you want to protect him, and the dancer's body that exudes raw sensuality. The masculinity here is the masculinity of a prince refined, polished, and untouchable. It evokes the image of high-fashion editorials, silk shirts, and luxury boutiques in Paris. There is a reason why he is a global ambassador for luxury jewelry houses. He carries an air of expensive exclusivity, and his scent is the invisible price tag. Furthermore, let's discuss the sillage, a French term in perfumery referring to the trail of scent left behind by a person. Witnesses claim Jimin has a moderate but distinct sillage. He doesn't fill the room and choke you, but when he walks past, he leaves a lingering whisper of clementine leaves and water lily that makes heads turn involuntarily. It is a subtle power move. In the hierarchy of masculinity, as defined by ruggedness, he ranks at number 6 because he chooses to reject the rough, gritty archetype in favor of a soft power. However, do not mistake soft for weak. To wear a floral, powdery scent and still command the attention of a stadium requires a level of self-assurance that most men dream of having. He isn't trying to prove he's tough. He knows he is captivating. For the female staff, this scent profile is likely the most dangerous of all because it is inviting rather than imposing. It lures you in with comfort notes of vanilla, and lilac have also been attributed to him in various anecdotes, creating a false sense of security before his intense stage gaze takes over. It is the scent of a man who knows exactly how beautiful he is. While the members lower on this list might rely on darker, heavier notes to assert their presence, Jimin's weapon of choice is sophistication. He smells like a romantic memory, like the cool air after a rainstorm, Clean, but with a depth that suggests hidden layers. This ranking places him here because, while his scent is undeniably attractive and powerful, it leans towards the pretty and beautiful side of the masculine spectrum rather than the macho side. He defines the modern man, unafraid to smell like a flower because he knows he is the one who holds the power to crush the stage. Thus, number 6 is the spot for the man who smells like a dangerous daydream.
Number 5, Jin. The aristocratic aura of green figs and white cedar, a scent that defines the perfect standard of a reliable man. Breaking into the top 5, we encounter a shift in the olfactory narrative. Moving away from the bright citrus of J-Hope and the floral seduction of Jimin, we arrive at a fragrance profile that is grounded, earthy, and undeniably expensive. Number 5 belongs to the visual god himself, Kim Seokjin, a man whose scent is as broad and comforting as his legendary shoulders. While his face screams eternal youth, staff reports and fragrance analyses suggest that Jin's scent is the epitome of a mature, sophisticated gentleman, the kind of scent that doesn't just say, "I am a pop star," but rather, "I am a man who owns the building." The fragrance most famously associated with him is the cult classic Diptyque Philosikos, a masterpiece of niche perfumery that is far removed from the generic sporty colognes usually marketed to men. This choice is incredibly telling of his character and adds layers to his masculinity. Philosikos is not a shout, it is a whisper of class. It is dominated by the notes of fig leaves, green fruit, and crucially for our ranking, heavy doses of white cedarwood. Let's deconstruct the science of this worldwide handsome aroma for a moment. The scent of fig leaf is green, slightly bitter, and milky, creating a skin-like creaminess that makes the wearer smell naturally good rather than artificially perfumed. But it is the base note of cedar that lands him at number 5 on the masculinity scale. Cedarwood is one of the oldest masculine ingredients in history, used to build temples and palaces. It smells dry, warm, and sturdy. For the female staff who have to mic him up or adjust his collar, standing next to Jin is reportedly like standing in the middle of a sun-drenched grove in Greece. It is calming, stabilizing, and deeply protective. There is a psychological phenomenon known as olfactory comfort, and Jin's scent triggers exactly that. In the chaotic, high-stress environment of a global tour, where adrenaline is spiking and nerves are fraying, Jin's woody green scent acts as a grounding anchor. He smells like stability. He smells like husband material. This is a different kind of masculinity compared to the bad boy vibe. This is the provider vibe. It is the scent of a man who pays the bills on time, who cooks for you, and who opens the door. It is reliable. Anecdotes from backstage often highlight that while Jin loves to crack dad jokes and lighten the mood, his physical presence is intimidatingly manly. He is tall, wide, and imposes a physical dominance that is softened only by this creamy, woody scent. If J-Hope is the friend you want to party with, and Jimin is the lover who seduces you, Jin smells like the partner you want to marry. The green aspect of his scent also suggests a lack of pretense. He doesn't need heavy musk to prove he is a man. His masculinity is effortless, radiating from his natural confidence. Furthermore, the longevity of woody scents means that Jin likely leaves a trace of this warm cedar aroma on the clothes he wears and the people he hugs. Imagine the sensation of a Jin hug. Fans have long speculated about it, but visually we see he gives full-body embraces. Olfactorily, this means being enveloped in a cloud of warm wood and sweet fig milk. It is a scent that disarms you, making you drop your guard because it feels so safe. However, do not underestimate the power of this scent. In the world of psychology, woody scents are linked to leadership and resilience. By smelling like a strong tree with deep roots, Jin subconsciously projects his role as the eldest brother, the pillar of BTS. He ranks at number 5 because, while his scent is undeniably masculine and woody, it lacks the aggressive edge or danger that characterizes the top 4. His scent is polite, refined, and aristocratic. It is the smell of old money and good manners. It doesn't attack the senses, it embraces them. For the staff, Jin's scent is likely the most livable fragrance, the one they would never get tired of, representing a man who is comfortable in his own skin and doesn't need to try too hard to impress. He is the standard. He is the benchmark of how a gentleman should smell in 2026, fresh enough to be pleasant, but woody enough to remind you that he is very much a grown man. Thus, Jin claims the title of the comforting protector, proving that true masculinity can smell like a warm embrace on a cold day.
Number 4. Suga. the sharp sophistication of icy spices and warm leather, a scent that commands silence and obsession. We have now crossed the threshold into the dangerous territory of the ranking, leaving behind the sunny citrus of J-Hope, the floral dreams of Jimin, and the comforting woods of Jin. At number 4, the atmosphere in the room drops a few degrees, the air becomes heavier, and the scent profile shifts from inviting to intimidatingly attractive. This position belongs to the mastermind of BTS, the genius producer Min Yoongi, also known as Suga. If the previous members smelled like nature, sunshine, flowers, and trees, Suga smells like the city at midnight. He smells like expensive ambition, cold air, and an intellectual darkness that is utterly irresistible to the female staff who work in his orbit. Placing him at number 4 is a strategic acknowledgement of a very specific type of masculinity, the tsundere of scents. It is not a fragrance that comes to you with open arms. It is a fragrance that demands you to step closer, even if you are afraid. According to insiders and fragrance sleuths who have analyzed the bottles sitting on his studio desk, Suga has a penchant for scents that fall into the aromatic fougere or spicy woody families complex, sharp, and undeniably manly. One of the most prominent fragrances linked to him is Boy Chanel, a scent that, despite its name, is a gender-bending masterpiece of lavender, geranium, sandalwood, and musk. But here is where the edutainment science comes in. On a blotter, this perfume smells clean and herbal. But on human skin, specifically, the skin of a man with high body heat, from long hours in a studio, the base notes of white, musk, moss, and vanilla amplify, creating a skin scent that is both creamy and metallic. Staff members have described his scent as crisp, yet deep, a paradox that perfectly mirrors his personality. He often looks like a soft, pale kitten, but his aura is that of a king tiger, and his scent bridges that gap. It starts with a sharp, almost spicy think black pepper or lemon zest, which serves as a warning, a do not disturb sign made of aroma. This is the scent of a man who is focused, serious, and professional. However, as the hours pass, the scent settles into a warm, leathery, powdery resonance that feels incredibly intimate. It is the olfactory equivalent of his music, raw, honest, and penetrating. For the female staff, working with Suga implies a certain distance. He is not as touchy-feely as the others, which makes the moments when they do catch a whiff of his scent even more impactful. It becomes a coveted sensory experience. There is a concept in psychology called intermittent reinforcement, where a reward is more addictive if it is rare. Suga's scent works the same way. It is subtle, not overpowering like a cloud of cheap cologne, but when he walks past you in a narrow hallway, the trail he leaves, known as sillage, is sharp, clean, and unmistakably expensive. It smells like success. It smells like a man who knows things you don't. Some accounts even suggest a hint of tobacco or smoky notes in his aura. Not from smoking, but from the depth of the vetiver and coumarin in his fragrance choices, adding a gritty, noir film quality to his presence. While Jin's woodiness was comforting, Suga's woodiness is dry and austere. It evokes the image of an old library filled with leather-bound books or a modern, minimalistic studio filled with steel and electricity. This is a modern masculinity. It's not about smelling like a lumberjack. It's about smelling like a CEO, a creative director, a man of power. The reason he ranks at number 4 and not higher is simply due to the temperature of the scent. The top 3 spots are reserved for scents that are overwhelmingly hot and animalistic, whereas Suga's scent is cool, collected, and cerebral. It creates a boundary. It tells the world, I am in control. But make no mistake, for many women, this cold masculinity is the most attractive of all. It triggers a curiosity, a desire to melt the ice. To smell Suga is to smell the complexity of a man who has battled his demons and won, wearing his resilience like a layer of armor made of sandalwood and spice. It is a scent that lingers in your memory long after he has left the room, haunting you with the question of what lies beneath that stoic exterior. Thus, Min Yoongi claims the throne of number 4, proving that the most masculine scent is sometimes the one that whispers the darkest secrets.
Number 3, RM Kim Namjoon. the raw authority of wet soil and ancient trees, a scent that commands instant respect and submission. Standing tall like a redwood tree in a forest of saplings, claiming the bronze medal in our ranking of masculine scents, is the leader, the pillar, and the destruction himself, Kim Namjoon RM. Placing RM at number 3 is a nod to a specific, heavy, and earthy type of masculinity that is becoming increasingly rare in the modern world. If Jin smells like polished, expensive furniture wood, RM smells like the living, breathing forest, roots, dirt, rain, and bark. Female staff members and industry insiders have often commented on the sheer physical magnitude of RM. He is not just tall, he is broad, solid, and occupies space with an intensity that can be intimidating. His scent profile is the perfect invisible extension of this physical dominance. While he has famously mentioned wearing Chanel No. 5 body lotion in the past, a choice that might confuse the uninitiated because it is marketed towards women, this is where the true edutainment science of body chemistry comes into play. On a woman, the aldehydes in No. 5 smell powdery and floral. On a man of RM's size and heat output, those same molecules break down into a heavy, musky, soap-like cleanliness that smells incredibly raw and skin-like. However, the defining characteristic of RM's aura in 2026 is undoubtedly woody and earthy. Think of niche fragrances like Diptyque's Tam Dao or Le Labo's Santal 33, but amplified. We are talking about notes of sandalwood, cedar, cypress, and myrtle. But unlike the dry woodiness of others, RM's scent is often described as damp or humid, like the air after a heavy rainstorm in a bamboo forest. This is the scent of petrichor, the earthy scent produced when rain falls on dry soil. Psychologically, this scent triggers a deep evolutionary sense of safety and grounding. For the female stylists and makeup artists who have to reach up to fix his hair or adjust his collar, standing in RM's personal space is reportedly an experience of being enveloped. His scent is thick. It has weight. It doesn't float, it settles. This creates a dynamic of protective masculinity. He smells like a shelter. He smells like a library filled with old paper and mahogany desks. It is the scent of a man who reads philosophy, loves art, and rides bicycles, yet possesses the raw physical strength to break things by accident. This duality is what makes his scent so intoxicatingly masculine. It is intellectual musk. It suggests a man who is in control of his instincts but possesses a deep, wild power beneath the surface. Staff have whispered that when RM walks into a room, the air changes. It smells fresher yet heavier. There is a savory quality to his scent, devoid of the sweetness of vanilla or fruit. It is bitter, like dark chocolate or espresso, mixed with the saltiness of skin. This bitterness is a hallmark of mature masculinity. He doesn't smell like a boy trying to impress. He smells like a grown man who is comfortable with his own natural aroma. The bonsai connection is real here. Just as he tends to his plants with patience and strength, his scent reflects that connection to nature. It is unpretentious but deeply complex. Why does he rank at number 3 and not number 1? Because RM's scent, while overwhelmingly masculine, is also deeply calming. It commands respect rather than just pure sexual desire, though it certainly does that too. It is the scent of a leader you want to follow, a mentor you want to listen to. It is authoritative, not aggressive. It says, "I am here and everything is under control." For the women working around him, this scent likely evokes a feeling of being safe, but also a distinct feeling of smallness in the presence of his largeness. To smell RM is to smell the essence of reliability mixed with the mystery of the natural world. He is the mountain that does not move. He is the root that holds the tree. His scent is a reminder that true masculinity is not about being loud. It is about being substantial. Thus, Kim Namjoon stands firm at number 3, the emperor of earthy scents, proving that nothing is more masculine than the raw, unfiltered power of nature itself.
Number 2. V. Kim Taeyoung. The intoxicating mystery of spiced amber and vintage leather, a scent that manipulates the subconscious. We have reached the penultimate position, the runner-up spot that belongs to a man who does not simply wear a fragrance. He embodies an entire atmospheric mood. Number 2 is the Prince of Daegu, the visual anomaly, V, Kim Taehyung. If RM's scent was the grounding force of the earth, V's scent is the hypnotic pull of the night sky, dark, mysterious, and utterly impossible to ignore. Placing Taehyung at number 2 is a tribute to a specific genre of masculinity known as the fatal gentleman. His scent profile is widely considered by industry insiders and female staff to be the most unique, expensive, smelling of the entire group. While other idols might smell like fresh lemons or sport cologne, reports suggest that V carries an aura of vintage sophistication, a blend of warm musk, deep amber, and a hint of soft tobacco flower, not smoke, but the sweet, earthy plant. This creates an olfactory experience that is reminiscent of a high-end jazz bar in 1922 Paris. It is sultry, slow, and deep. For years, fans have known that V prefers lotions over heavy alcohol-based perfumes, specifically mentioning brands with oat or shea butter bases. But here is the edutainment twist. When these creamy, neutral scents mix with his natural body chemistry, which is reportedly very high in heat, they create a skin scent that is far more dangerous than any bottled cologne. In the world of pheromones, a skin scent is the ultimate weapon because it signals intimacy. It tricks the female brain into thinking you are already close to him. Staff members have confessed that when V walks past, the air feels warmer and heavier, laced with a spicy, woody sweetness that is disorienting. It is the smell of old money. It's the scent of a leather jacket worn over a silk shirt. There is a heavy quality to his scent that commands attention without being aggressive. It is seductive. It lures you in. Unlike the fresh scents that say, "I am energetic," V's scent says, "I am dangerous," but you want to come closer anyway. It aligns perfectly with his deep baritone voice. Just as his voice vibrates in your chest, his scent lingers in your nose. Witnesses have described his sillage, scent trail, as intoxicating, the kind of smell that makes you pause and look around to find the source. He ranks at number 2 because this scent represents the peak of romantic masculinity. It is the scent of a lover, a muse, a heartbreaker. It is complex, artistic, and deeply emotional. While number 1 might be the scent of raw biological dominance, number 2 is the scent of psychological seduction. To smell Kim Taehyung is to be under a spell, caught in a haze of amber and musk that feels like a beautiful, feverish dream you never want to wake up from.
Number 1 is Jungkook, the biological peak of alpha pheromones and fresh soap, a scent that triggers pure instinct. Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath, because we have finally arrived at the summit, the absolute zenith, the undisputed king of our olfactory hierarchy. We have journeyed through the citrus fields of J-Hope, the floral gardens of Jimin, the ancient forests of RM, and the amber-soaked jazz bars of V. But number 1 belongs to a man who defies categorization because his scent is not just a fragrance. It is a biological event. The title of the most masculine scent in BTS belongs to the golden Maknae turned global pop titan, Jungkook. Placing the youngest member at number 1 might seem like a shock to those who still remember him as the doe-eyed boy of 2013. But let's face the reality of 2026. Jungkook has undergone the most terrifyingly perfect physical evolution in K-pop history, and his scent profile has evolved right alongside his muscles. According to the hush-hush testimonies of female staff, stylists, and even casual bystanders who have been within a 5-meter radius of him, Jungkook's scent is described as visceral, overwhelming, and intoxicatingly manly. But here is the fascinating scientific paradox that lands him the top spot. Jungkook is famous for his obsession with cleanliness and laundry scents. We all remember the downy craze. He loves smelling like soap and fresh cotton. However, when you layer that innocent, clean, powdery soap scent over the body of a man who spends hours boxing, lifting heavy weights, and sweating out pure adrenaline, you get a chemical reaction that is lethal to the female subconscious. It is the scent of clean muscle. It is the smell of a man who takes care of himself but is undeniably a physical beast. In the world of pheromones, this is the jackpot. It's not the smell of cologne trying to mask a bad odor. It's the smell of high-grade testosterone mixed with fabric softener. Staff members have reported that unlike the others who smell like perfume, Jungkook smells like skin, but the best-smelling skin imaginable. It is a warm, sweet, musky aroma that radiates from him like heat from a furnace. When he walks by, the air doesn't just smell good, it feels charged with electricity. Think about his Calvin Klein campaigns, that raw, exposed, unapologetic masculinity. Now imagine what that smells like. It smells like amber, like ozone, like the salt on skin after a run by the ocean. It is the scent of vitality. While RM's scent commands respect and V's scent seduces the mind, Jungkook's scent hits the lizard brain, the primal part of you that recognizes a strong, healthy mate. It is undeniable. It is the scent of a protector and a provider. There have been whispers that his natural body odor is pleasant on its own, a genetic lottery win that means even after a 3-hour concert, he doesn't smell bad, he just smells intense. This feral undertone, masked by his love for sweet, soapy perfumes, like his rumored use of Victoria's Secret sprays or Formant Cotton Hug, creates a push-and-pull dynamic that drives people insane. It is the contrast of the baby star candy smile and the alpha male body, translated into scent. He smells like your boyfriend's hoodie that you never want to wash. He smells like safety, but also like danger. He smells like the end of the search. For the female staff, keeping a professional distance from number one is likely the hardest challenge of their careers because his scent is not just something you smell. It's something you feel in your chest. It is the ultimate olfactory definition of man. Thus, Jungkook claims the crown, proving that the most masculine scent in the world is the smell of raw, explosive potential wrapped in a soft, clean sheet. He is the alpha. He is number one.